So for the discussion post, I want your honest response, but I want you to translate your honest response into what you imagine to be academically appropriate discourse. So I want you to write the way you imagine a sociologist is going to write. Now, what I'm looking for is evidence of the effort to make that transformation from every day talking to your friend or talking to your mom or talking to whoever, translate that into the way I mostly try to express myself in this context, the way the textbook is written, and the way mostly in the videos the sociologists speak. That first part will be worth 10 out of the 12 marks assigned to each of the two discussion posts. And then once you've posted that, I want you to take a look at some of your classmates' responses and choose 2 of them, respond to those, and you get a point for each of those responses. I'm still trying to calibrate and figure out what the right distribution is, but for this semester anyway, it's going to be 10 for the main post and 2 for the other, for your responses to your classmates' posts. Any questions about that? Okay, now the last part that I really want to get through, that I really want to be sure to get through today is the glossary assignment. It also will be worth 12.5% of your grade, and the due date for that is the 1st of June. For that, you are to read this. I've posted a news story from CBC News, and it's a topical story about the COVID and Ontario and so on. And the exercise here is I want you to go through the textbook and pick out some of the terms that the author has identified as key sociological concepts or expressions or defined terms. They're identified by the author through the bold-faced type that has been used in printing them. Now, many of you will know what that means. Some of you perhaps don't. So I want to be clear about this. There was a little bit of confusion last semester. The word boldface and the word type are in boldface type. What a type is the characteristics, the quality of the written word in the printed form. And boldface is just the darker, that's the name of this kind of type. And so when you take a look at in the textbook, so as I mentioned here, on page 4 of the textbook, the terms sociology, social structures, and sociological imagination are all printed in boldface type on that page. And at the top left-hand side of that page, the author has written a little, there's a little box, and in that box, the author has defined those terms. What the glossary assignment consists of is that for each of the first 3 chapters, you need to pick 3 terms from each of the first 3 chapters. That's a total of 9 terms for this assignment. And write a few lines or a few words that illustrate how the term itself connects to some aspect of what the story is about. So it requires of you to use your imagination a little bit. It requires of you to read and understand what this news story is about. And it requires of you to be able to see from the context in the sociology textbook what work is done, what meaning is attached to the particular terms you've chosen. Now, some of the imagination work that's required of you is you need to be able to make sure you pick a term that you can connect to the story. I'm pretty confident that every single term in the book could be applied to, well, that's probably a bit overstated. Nearly every single term in the book, I'm pretty sure, would be you'd be able to find a way to connect it to the story. But your job is to make sure you pick a term that you can connect, that you're confident you can come up with some way of connecting it to what the author of this story is, the point the author of the story is trying to make in this news story. And this is worth 12.5% of your final grade. There's and 3 marks each for each item. So the Blackboard software will do the math. Whatever 27 divided by 12.5, each term will be worth that much of your final grade. Now I've asked you to submit it as a .docx file rather than a PDF file. So please do that. The software that I'm using, it doesn't work with PDF. It's not nearly as easy for me to comment on PDF files as it is for me to comment on docx files. So please submit it using .x. And please don't use an ODT file or any other Apple thing. It doesn't work with the software. I don't know why. I don't understand these things, but I do know that every semester someone has an Apple or a Mac. I don't know if there's a difference, and they upload it and I can't see it. And so I have to email them, and it's just a waste of effort on both our sides. You need to submit it in that format so that I can grade it. Okay, so that's that for the 2 assignments. Next week at the beginning of class, as I mentioned, I will discuss the major assignment, the COVID and sociological theory assignment. But I want to spend a tiny bit more time doing that, and I don't want to spend the whole time today just talking about about this. I'm prepared if you have specific questions to go on and explain it more. But if we're all good, then I'm going to move on to one last thing. Okay, so I take it that we're good. Now let me just make sure that I went through everything that I wanted to do. Glossary, online multiple choice, discussion boards. Yep, okay, so excellent. Now, next week, we're going to be taking a look at this article by a York University sociologist. He is a professor, Carl James. I don't know who this other person is, but Carl James is a very well-known sociologist who teaches in the education program at York University. And there are 2 aspects of this article that I will be relying on in the first half of the course. Next week, I'm going to focus mainly on the methodological aspects of the sociological approach taken in this article. He does structured interviews, or they do structured interviews in this. So I'd like you to read this article for next week. It's in Blackboard under week 2 reading, and he was dancing like no tomorrow. The article is a project Carl James was working on a program that the Toronto police put together trying to overcome challenges that the police were facing in certain neighborhoods, the alienation that's experienced by youth, by some youth in some neighborhoods in their interactions with the police. And the first thing, what I'm going to be mostly focusing on next week are methodological aspects of the research. And then a few weeks later, I'm going to take a look at the findings and try to consider from a couple of different points of view the sociological work that Professor James did with the data that he generated using these approaches. What does a program like these are ride-along programs where the youth and the police get to know each other, and as James puts it in the subtitle, it's in quotes. What does that suggest to you? That the subtitle is Police and Youth, in quotes, getting to know each other. If there were no quotes there, if it just said police and youth getting to know each other, would that be any different in your view than what they in fact have, which is police and youth, in quotes, getting to know each other? Exactly. Thank you, Kendall. So some of what I'm trying to call to your attention here is our conventions. Here, the quotes in the first part, and he was dancing like no tomorrow, function in a rhetorically different way than the quotes down here. This, as it turns out, I'm not positive that you'd get that from just reading the title. This is a quote from the article itself. One of the youth who was interviewed. Exactly. And there's a power dynamic, there's a history, and so on. And so the quotation marks are meant to call our attention to the problematic nature based on a power imbalance between police and youth, that police and youth getting to know each other is not just a matter of introducing themselves to each other. It's not simply the case that having police interact with youth and having youth interact with police is automatically going to produce the goal of getting to know each other. And so we'll take a more careful look at what the results are of this research, the conclusions and so on. But for next week, we will be taking a look at this, and then a little bit later in the semester, we're going to take a look at it again. Now, okay, well, that's it for today. Today's going to be a shorter session than usual, but I wanted to get through. I want to impress on you how short the semester is. This semester is shorter than normal, but we have to get through the same amount of material. And so the timelines are pretty tight, and I'm doing my best. Now, I'm not especially good at this, but I want to do my best to make sure that you're all aware of these deadlines. Let me just quickly check one thing here. So there are 22 students registered in this section, and there's 11 people who showed up. So all 11 who are signed on and who are listening. Some of my colleagues and me, maybe on a bad day, wonder if students just log in and tune out. If they just log in to make it look like they've attended and aren't even in the room when this is going on. But that's for another, that's my responsibility to try to figure out. What I'm trying to say here is please pay attention to those deadlines. they're coming up quickly. I've set this course up so it ought not to take huge chunks of your time, except perhaps not a huge chunk, but only that 20% assignment really, I think, is going to take a substantial amount of time. The rest of it is going to be reading the two articles, the two associated readings, reading the chapter, and watching the videos. But get that part done as soon as you can, and then start on the low-hanging fruit. Get the multiple choice done, get the discussion board done, and start working as soon as you can on the glossary assignment to get as much of this under your belt as possible. How many courses are some of you taking? Nope, the train's coming. Are most of you taking 5 courses? 4, 5, 3, yeah, 6. Jesus, Jay. Wow. So most of you have your plates full, and so I'm doing my best to spread it out as evenly as I can. And I'm a reason I imagine, I picture myself as a reasonable person. If something comes up in your life that makes it difficult for you to meet a deadline, get in touch with me absolutely at the earliest possible time that you can, so that we can figure out, so that we can at least see if we can figure out a way to get around it. Often there's some flexibility under appropriate circumstances for these kinds of things, but I don't control the calendar. I don't control the clock. The days are going to tick over, and if you just keep delaying and delaying and delaying, it's just going to get unmanageable later on. So I've tried to make available to you right from the very beginning all of the work that I'm asking you to do in order to encourage as many of you as possible, in order to encourage all of you to start on that work right away, so that it never builds up into a giant pile that seems unmanageable. Okay, so I'm looking forward to next week, when we will discuss I'll spend a few minutes describing the major assignment, and then we will take a look briefly at some aspects of chapter 1, and then I'm going to talk about Carl James's article about police and youth getting to know each other. Okay, so that's it for today. I'm going to turn off the recording now. Oop, shit.